refuse to lose. I'm built to win. Applied myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win. Yeah. Refuse. Mine, it can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it, they told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie, I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me like told me, keep on running toes, they gon' take them. Refuse to lose, built to win. Applied myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss, I pay for the cost, I'm winning to win. Yeah. Refuse to lose, I'm built to win. Applied myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win. Yeah. Refuse.
What's good, people? Welcome to Dave's Doghouse. Today is Monday, April 27th. It's been a great week in sports so far. Playoffs has been going crazy. Baseball's out here doing this, doing this big thing. We had the NFL draft that just happened. So, people got their own sports grades on what's going on with the NFL draft. We had some really good games yesterday. Celtics blow out the 76ers and Philly. Go up 3-1, headed back to Boston, so they got a chance to close out the game. Then Houston finally wins a game against the Lakers. Lakers are still up 3-1 with Austin Reeves potentially returning in the next game, which means that Luka Doncic might be back for the second round. So, and then Kevin Durant, who knows if he's available to come back for Game 5. Not sure, but he did not play in Game 4. He's only played in one game in this series so far. So, who knows what's going to happen with the Rockets? But today, I do have some teams I need to talk to you guys about and some players, whether they're in the Doghouse or the Dogs. You got to figure that out when I start to talk about them. But welcome to Dave's Doghouse again. I am live right now on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and X. So make sure you follow, subscribe, and like on all platforms, especially if you want to get some content like this. You're not going to see this anywhere else where people are talking about the lowlights and highlights of everybody in sports throughout the week. And you let me know if you have a candidate that should have been in a Doghouse. Let me know if someone who should have been a dog. So that's just what Dave's Doghouse is about. So again, like I said, I'm live right now. So like, share, subscribe, and let's get this thing started. So first up, this is the actual Doghouse. These are the teams that are in the Doghouse at the moment. I've recently just added Brandon Ingram, the Washington Nationals pitching, which has been putrid at best. The Pistons bench. There may be a candidate on here though that should be coming out of the Doghouse because they're up 3-1 in the playoffs right now, and that's the Los Angeles Lakers. You see them right there. Big and bold. AJ Brown, who knows? He may be out soon. John Harbaugh might be out soon because he's now head coach of the New York Giants. AJ Brown's supposedly be getting traded to the, New England Patriots. But who knows what's going to happen? Who knows? All I know is we have some puppy chow that's about to be served to the Doghouse. Now, the very first candidate in today's show of Dave's Doghouse that's going into the Doghouse, he's supposed to be number 2 to the star on this team. He had a breakout year this year, but now he seems to be struggling. And struggling may be, I don't know, may not even be the right word. It could be just playing terrible, playing horrible. Just know he ain't playing good. And his team is the number 1 team in the Eastern Conference. And I know I talked about his team already. I've mentioned his name already, but I didn't talk about him fully. Today is that day. Jalen Duren, you are in the doghouse today, my guy. Let me explain to you why you are in the doghouse today. So in the first 3 playoff games, you're averaging, this is your average, 9 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, and he's shooting under 42% from the field, averaging almost 3 turnovers per game. In the last game, in game 3, he fouled out. He fouled out in the last game, which means he's also getting himself into foul trouble, which is not good. And the reason why I say this is a struggle, in the regular season, he averaged 19.5 points, 10.5 rebounds, and shot 65% from the field. Let me repeat to you what he's doing in the playoffs so far. 9 points. 9. That's a 10-point drop-off, which is huge. 8.3 rebounds. He's not even averaging a double-double. He's averaging single digits right now. 2 assists and under 42% from the field. That is 23% worse than what he did in the regular season. So is the playoffs, is it too bright for him? I'm not sure, but he ain't showing up when the lights are bright. Also, they're taking away his easy looks. Orlando is attacking him and not allowing him to be able to get the looks he got in the regular season. He ain't getting that in the playoffs. Orlando is making sure that he doesn't get those easy looks. So he's being forced into rush finishing, bad position catches, awkward post touches. It's not working out for him. He's losing the physical battle. Wendell Carter has been very, very tough with him, along with the other bigs with Orlando. I said this the last time when I talked about the matchup with the Pistons and the Magic. The Magic create problems because they play just as physical as the Detroit Pistons. Today is game day, so who knows what Jalen Duren is going to be able to do tonight. But they're down 2-1 to Orlando right now. I want to go down 3-1 to Orlando going into Detroit. That is actually the case right now. He's been pushed off his spots. He's been late on rebounds, ineffective finishing through contact. It's been difficult for him, and he's young, so he's only 22 years old, but he's the second option behind Cade Cunningham, and he needs to step up. Tobias Harris has played a lot better than he has, and Tobias Harris is a vet. He's been in this league for a long time, so you expect him to do that. But Jalen Duren, you just had an all-star season, all NBA type season possibly, because all the NBA teams has not been announced yet. And this is what you're doing right now in the playoffs. It shows that maybe you ain't ready for the big lights. And like Carl has said before, maybe his team ain't ready. This is not a championship team. Because right now they don't look like a championship team. They don't look like they can compete with the other guys because they're the number 1 seed and they're struggling against the AC right now. This is bad because Orlando Magic have been talking about firing their head coach. This team has a head coach in the hot seat, and they're up 2-1 right now against the number 1 team in the Eastern Conference. Jalen Duren, you have to do better, my guy. Until then, you're in the doghouse. My guy, you're in the doghouse. Got to step up. It's the playoffs. Can't play like this anymore. Next up, I mentioned this team when I started talking about today's show. They are currently down 3-1 to the Los Angeles Lakers, the Houston Rockets. Houston Rockets, I mean, their weaknesses are being magnified under postseason pressure. They're young. They haven't been in this position before, and you can tell that they have not been in this position before. There's a glaring need that they're missing right now, and that's guard play, especially when Amen Thompson is not out there on the floor, because the offense is just getting murdered. The team is getting murdered when he's not on the floor. It's he literally has to stay on the floor in order for them to be in a positive of any stat. Everything goes down when he goes to the bench. So the Rockets just Houston, you got to step up. You're down 3-1 right now, and everyone thought that you were going to win this series mainly because Austin Reeves and Luka Doncic have not played a game. They were supposed to be out this before the first round. And then we hear game one, KD not playing. Okay, Houston, what you gonna do? Sengun, this is your franchise. They traded away Jalen Green to give you the franchise. You and Amen Thompson. You two are the guys to further on the Houston Rockets franchise. And Amen Thompson has been doing his thing. Sengun, I don't know, my guy. You got the win last night, so you finally got a win. But you were down 0-3. KD played in one game. And the thing is, you look good in the regular season because you run in transition, play with pace, overwhelming teams athletically. That ain't happening with the Lakers right now because LeBron James and the Lakers are controlling the tempo. With them controlling the tempo, you can't do what you did in the regular season. You guys got to find ways to be able to get this W. And I understand that Fred VanVleet is out, but he's been out pretty much all year. So we can't even use that as an excuse anymore. He's been out pretty much all year. This is a 52-win team. So even without Fred VanVleet, you've won 52 games this year. So something's got to change. And you traded away a guy who was really good offensively. I understand he struggled in the playoffs so far going up against OKC. But that's Oklahoma City. The Lakers, although they have played well defensively in this series, they are not a defensive team. Everybody knows this. They're not Oklahoma City defensively at all. So if Jalen Green So Houston Rockets, you're down 3-1. What are you going to do to get yourself back in better position? You let me know. Until then, you're in the doghouse.
guy, you in the doghouse.
My very next contestant. Now I'm switching sports. Going to baseball now. This team, shout out to my guy Teddy, Mr. BWT. Make sure you tune into BWT and also tune into to Zero Sports Talk with Griffey. He also talks about baseball as well. That is the newest show on the Altura Network. If you have not subscribed, make sure you subscribe ASAP to his show. Man, this team is, although not currently on a losing streak, they were just on a losing streak. And they have pretty much looked bad to begin the season. They spent some money to keep one of the key guys on the team. They have a guy who was on a team that won a World Series, even though he wasn't on a team when they won the World Series. He was on a team that eventually had won it. And now he's the guy in one of the hardest sports towns to play in, one of the toughest ones to play in. One thing about the media in this state, they don't play. Ask the Eagles. Ask the 76ers. Ask the Flyers. The Phillies know you can't play around. You can't play around in Philadelphia. But right at this moment, they've lost 11 of their last 12 games. They were just on a 10-game losing streak with Bryce Harper, Kyle Schwarber on this team, and Trey Turner. The Phillies just shout out to my boy Kev, Mr. Philly himself. I mean, he'll tell you, Philly media don't play. They don't joke around. And right now, this is not what you want to do. During their 10-game losing streak, the Phillies, oh my goodness, the Phillies have struggled with runners in scoring position. The power numbers have dipped, and too many empty at-bats in big moments. The Phillies, come on, man. Outside of flashing from Zach Wheeler, the rotation has been putting the team in early holes, falling behind the counts, too many home runs allowed, and not pitching deep into games. Bullpen meltdowns have not helped as well. They struggle with command in late games, allowing inherited runners to score and giving up late extra base hits. That's a snowball effect. Starters press, hitters press, and every close game is almost as if they're going to choke the game away. So I said they won a 10-game losing streak. Then they won a game Saturday against the Braves 8-5, but then lost the game yesterday. So now who knows? They may be on another losing streak. The thing is this showing that they're a bad team, or is this just a bad streak? It's just bad moments. I'm not 100% sure. I'm going to say bad moments right now because the Phillies have been a playoff perennial team for the last few seasons. They've been there. But, however, if they lose another 5 to 7 games, then you may want to question if this is really a bad team this year. Because that's 2 losing streaks within a month or two? That's not World Series competition. That's not playoff competition. That doesn't show that you're going to be. You ain't going to be there. You won't be in those conversations of the playoffs or even the wild card if you're having losing streaks like this. Just saying, this is a team that was in the World Series not too long ago. A guy, Bryce Harper, who's been in MVP talks, been in MVP. Zach Wheeler, we know what he can do. Kyle Schwarber, I mean, he had a fantastic season last year. So, he was thought to maybe go somewhere else. He got lowballed by teams like the Red Sox and returned back to Philly. So, I mean, I wouldn't say panic, but the offense is streaky. They're falling too far behind early in the season. Like I said, it's just April. But it becomes a real threat in the season if they lose another 5 to 7 games in a row. So, Phillies, you might want to get it together. So, you are in the doghouse. My guy, you in the doghouse. My very last contestant in the doghouse for this week is a former MVP. Some people say he's the best player in the league. That may be questions upon that now. People talk about his great offense and what he does offensively. Average triple doubles, something that only 2 other players have done. Oscar Robertson and Russell Westbrook. He's also done it as well. He's won an NBA title in a place that isn't known for that. This is a perennial playoff team now that he's there. And he doesn't really have an all-star teammate. I think Jamal Murray made it this year, but I'm not sure. And I can tell you this. There are going to be some tough questions about Nikola Jokic. Is he still the best player in the league? I think SGA has been more consistent. The last 3 years, at least. Jokic has struggled. Now, you look at his averages and you say, you know what? He doesn't look like he's struggling. The man's still scoring 20-something plus points per game, averaging 10-plus rebounds. So he's still double-double. It's the efficiency in which he's doing things. You know his plus-minus in the last 3 games is averaging a minus 10.7. Overall, it's minus 32. That's his plus-minus. But it's not even really just that. He's shooting 33% from the field in the last 3 games. 12 points total in the fourth quarter in the last 3 games. That is clutch time. Fourth quarter is when you need to step up and do the most. He's only scored 12 total points in the fourth quarter in the last 3 games. And guess what? They've lost the last 3 games. The last game, they lost with Anthony Edwards and Dante DiVincenzo both getting injured in the game and going out. Now, they did have a player go crazy, but still, the Denver Nuggets, led by Nikola Jokic, Jamal Murray, and Aaron Gordon, is normally a team that wins that kind of game. And they still ended up losing. Also, not only has he not been efficient in the entire game in the last 3 games, not only has he only scored 12 points in the fourth quarter in the last 3 games, in the last 3 games in the fourth quarter, you want to know what he shot from the field? 2 for 16, 12% in the fourth quarter. That is not good. That is bad. And this is the playoff time. This is the regular season. Okay, this may be a little struggle. This is the playoff. This is when everything matters. This is the road to the NBA championship, road to the NBA finals. A chance for him to be a 2-time champ. And you lose to a team who loses their best player and another key role player. Something don't look right about that. So Denver, you either going to come back. You're either going to do something miraculous and come back from 3-1, and Jokic is going to have to play great, but he's struggling offensively and struggling defensively. That's one thing a lot of people don't talk about, is that Jokic is not a good defender. So there's that. So now, Nikola Jokic, this is where you are going to be until you prove your game. You are in the doghouse.
My guy, you in the doghouse.
Next up, we get to talk about the dogs. Dogs of the week. We got 3 of them. You let me know what's going on with that. I'll be back in a second.
Yo, my name is Lambo Anlo.
This is Dimitri.
This is Ed Hahn.
My name is Daryl Julian, and this is
Refuse to lose sports.
Refuse to lose sports.
Refuse to Lose Sports.
Refuse to lose sports.
Mine, it can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it. They told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie. I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me like Toby, keep on running, toes they gon' take them. Refuse to lose, built to win. Apply myself, I felt it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in. Yeah, no time for no loss, I pay for the cost, I'm winning to win. Yeah, refuse to lose, I'm built to win. Apply myself, I felt it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in. Yeah, no time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win. Yeah, refuse.
All right. back to the Dogs. Next up, my very first contestant to be put into the Dogs for this week. A team that's been on a hot streak. And a team that's been, doing some really good things offensively and defensively in baseball. Had a really good offseason. Guys like Cody Bellinger, Sayaka Suzuki, and Nico Herner, have really been helping this team out. And even, the other guy that I've talked about before. If you remember who I'm talking about, let me know in the comments who I'm talking about. But the Chicago Cubs have won 12 of their have won 10 of their last 12 games. They're currently on a 2-game losing streak, but they just had a 10-game win streak. That puts them at 17-11 at the moment. They're still one of the hottest teams in baseball. They've had better on-base numbers, less dependence on one star, so it's been multiple guys pitching in. Limited walks, keeping the ball in the park. They got deeper starts. The pitching has improved for sure. Their offense looks really dangerous right now. They won high-scoring games, close games, comeback games, so they're winning in multiple ways. It's not a one-way win. They're showing flexibility when it comes to them being able to win games. Timely hitting, bullpen has been they've had some really good luck in 1-1 games. So, it sometimes that cools off, but that's usually what happens when you see long streaks like this. So competition matters. They still have the Brewers that's in the mix for their division right now. The Cubs may be good enough to contend, but who knows? I'm not sure if they're going to be able to run away with the division just yet. They look like a real playoff contender, just not necessarily a powerhouse, but it looks good. I would say best case scenario, maybe about 88 to 92 wins, playoff berth. Maybe have some up and downs all year, but really competitive team. That to me is a team that's been on fire for a really good time, a really nice period of time. So that comes along with winning series and beating tough teams. Right now they're down 2-0 to the Dodgers and in that series right now. So the Dodgers are the best team in baseball, just pretty much. They've been for the last 2 seasons, and you see they won back-to-back championships. So there we go. Give me 1 second, and I'll be right back.
Yo, my name is Lambo Anlo.
This is Dimitri.
This is Ed Han.
My name is Daryl Julian, and this is
Refuse to lose sports.
Refuse to lose sports.
Refuse to Lose Sports.
Refuse to lose sports.
Mine, it can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it. They told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie. I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me, keep on running toes, they gon' take them. Refuse to lose. built to win. Applied myself, I felt it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I pay for the cost, I'm winning to win, yeah. Refuse to lose, I'm built to win. Applied myself, I felt it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win, yeah. Refuse.
And that, my guys, is the first contestant as the Dogs. So, welcome to the Dogs. My guy, my guys, Chicago Cubs. Next, a guy who had a fantastic playoff performance against the Denver Nuggets. I just talked about him recently when I was talking about Nikola Jokic. Ayo, I think it's Dosunmu. I could be saying his last name wrong. Charges to my head and I'm a heart. He went off for 43 points in a playoff game against the Denver Nuggets with his best player, Anthony Edwards, and with Dante DiVincenzo going down in that game. Dante DiVincenzo has a torn ACL. He ain't coming out. Or a torn Achilles. He ain't coming out. He ain't coming back. Shot creation, mid-range control, transition burst, confidence factor, all of that has been key factors in why he's been a dog. And it's been really efficient. You know, attacking before it becomes fully loaded, you know, reliable third option. Denver has adjusted coverages when slightly weaken their help defense on their his energy on defense. It's been a big takeaway. And it's been great for Minnesota. So it's not just a hot game. It's a role player forcing himself into series swings. If he stays close to this is a heck of a performance from a guy who came from Chicago, hasn't really been able to do too much. And, you know, he flipped the script by attacking before help could fully load, refusing to settle when Jokic dropped into coverage, and forcing Denver's guard into physical defense possession for 30 plus minutes. So he's forcing Denver's guards to do stuff that they're not used to doing. I mean, Denver is not known to be a good defensive team either. Shout out to Jaden McDaniels who said that himself. And this is the result of it. So, Ayo, you're a dog. Last and certainly not least, the big dog is the guy who has the Lakers up 3-1 right now. That is none other than LeBron James himself. His impact, and he's not scoring 30, 40 points right now, but he has them up 3-1 to the Houston Rockets because he's exploiting the inexperienced defenders and switches. He's slowing the Houston's transition game. You know they like to play fast pace. He's slowing the game down, pushing help defensive with simple reads, you know, dunks, corner threes, dump offs. He's doing all of those. You know what LeBron James does right now. He has the highest IQ in the game still. Late game execution. I mean, the Rockets were up 6 points with 20-something seconds left in the fourth quarter in Game 3, and they forced overtime and beat them. So, you know, like I said, the Rockets won the last game, but the Lakers are up 3-1 without Luka Doncic, without Austin Reeves. LeBron James is 41 years old, still being able to dominate a series without being a dominant offensive guy. So he's not putting up 30, 40 points. He ain't dominating that way. He's dominating in other ways to make sure that other guys involved, they're playing good defense, and they're efficient offensively. I mean, he's doing everything he needs to do. Strong plus minus influence, peak performances in Game 3. So, I mean, the game, they could close out in Game 5 or Game 6, but this series looks likely over. And we said this in our NBA chat that if the Rockets lose, then that is sad. And it looks like they're going to lose the series. So, LeBron James, you are the big dog. that is it for my show today. See you guys later. Y'all have a great show and a great day. This is Dave's Doghouse. Turn me up, 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 up.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.